Welcome to the fight game. He's Icewater, I'm Puma. And there was a fight yesterday with Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. Catterall avenging a loss earlier. Taylor got him in the first fight. The second fight, it was Catterall. I didn't see the fight. I have to admit, I got to go back and see the fight and to see what happened. I was doing something while the fight was going on. I think it was 2 or 3 o'clock our time in the afternoon, and we're usually watching fights at night. But what does this say about this division with this happening?
Well, I think first of all, one of the things people are saying is the factor that they think Josh Taylor needs to move up, right? I think the division is it seemed like he was weight drained or whatever, trying to make the weight. But Catterall is a tough customer, right? So he was able to get through it and win. It says a lot because Josh Taylor has been dominant in a lot of ways. But maybe this is the end of Josh Taylor at that division because he has that big frame. He can grow a little bit, grow into it, take up some additional weight. So I mean, hey, 1-1, what you gonna do? I'm not sure there's gonna be a tiebreaker because of the fact that if there is a tiebreaker, it's probably gonna be at a heavier weight. But hey, you just had to give it up to Catterall doing what he had to do to win the fight, and that's how we kind of look at it. But I think that for the it's going to open the door a little bit more for Catterall at that division. But again, for Josh Taylor, I think he's going to have to move up and maybe take some considerations that way. Or if he doesn't, he's going to have to maybe face some other guys at that weight that he normally wouldn't be thinking about. But again, if there's a struggle to make the weight, why would you stay?
Yeah. Some other fights. I wanted to bring this up, and I forgot about this in our pre-show kind of meeting. Um, there is a proposal to have 5 Americans versus 5 Mexican fighters, and so we'll talk about this a little bit later. But heading the fight card is Crawford and Carnelo. You got Stevenson and Cruz. You got Figueroa and Lopez. You got Neri and Fulton. You got Plant and Mungawa. I mean, if they could pull this off, this would be like a major bout, having 5 versus 5 Americans versus 5 Mexican fighters. Your thoughts on that? Just hearing it, off the cuff.
No, I think it's a great idea. But again, the question is, how real is it? What's the reality of that? I mean, we had to go back to the perfect example. The Saudis can't pull it off. Saudis already offered Canelo the money to fight Crawford already, and he said no. And I think he knows too that unless it's at 168 or above, it's not worth it, or there may not be enough money as well. So if the Saudis can't pull it up, although the crowd, the card that you mentioned would be phenomenal, be one of the tops that we've ever seen. I would love to see it. But I think if your headliners are not going to come through, then how are you going to pull off the rest of it?
Yeah, because I would think that with a card like this, just pride would want you to kind of participate in this, because if you refuse it, then people are going to be looking at you kind of a little suspect, saying, "Oh, you're really not up for fighting for the country, so to speak, or you're supposed to be the best in this particular country, but you're saying that." And I'm speaking of Canelo. I'm not even going to sugarcoat. Here's a card here that people want to see. This will generate a lot of money and a lot of interest in boxing. You say you're the best Mexican fighter out there, and if you don't take this, then you cannot consider yourself the best Mexican fighter if everybody else kind of jumps in and does it. And I think the Saudis can actually pull it off with the money. I don't know about everything else, but with the money they can offer, I think they can offer more money to get this thing going.
No, I agree, but that's the thing. Canelo's like, if you want this, then make me an offer I can't refuse. And apparently they have not done that yet.
Right.
So granted, I mean, for him, again, I said before, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. You're gonna not saying that he can't beat Crawford or he's not willing to face him, but that's such a mythical fight that a lot of people want to see. They're going to have to pay him an astronomical amount for him to get in the fight with, to get in there with him. Because Canelo doesn't win, it's a loss for him. They're gonna say it was too, that he lost to this guy that's supposed to be better. How can you consider yourself one of the greatest of all time when you can't beat a dude that started at a lot lesser weight? And it has to be worth it. The risk has to be worth it. Same way David Benavidez. It has to be worth the money. And Canelo, It's talking about 250 to 300 million. I mean, those Floyd Mayweather numbers.
Yeah. So the Ryan Garcia saga continues. He tested positive for a particular steroid. Your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, it's weird because you hear with Devin Haney's team going after it and said they thought he would test positive. Niaz tested positive. Some of the I think they did like a hair sample, and then of course the Garcia team is contesting it because it's like it's not really legit because it's not voluntary. They might have got it some other way because they said they took an independent test where he showed he was negative as far as the B test. But here they're saying that it's positive. So I don't know. I mean, do you ban him? You kind of knew going into it what was going on with the 3 pounds and whatnot. It's ironic though. Here's the thing I find ironic about this is if Devin Haney had won that fight, would he still be contesting, talking about that he cheated? Would he be going this amount, this length? I don't think so. I think, and now it's all about you're a cheater, you're on steroids. Before it was like, oh, we're gonna just whoop your butt because. Now all of a sudden you lose, and your dad had the right information for you when you came back to the corner, and you was getting hit with the same shot that you said he was a one trick pony with that left hook, and you kept getting hit by him and got dropped. Now all of a sudden he was superhuman, and that's why we lost. Maybe it was the strategy. Maybe it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Other boxing news, man.
Yeah, other boxing news, there's a potential that we're seeing that there's going to be a match between champion Fundora versus Errol Spence Jr. in October at AT&T Stadium. So now they're trying to figure it out to make sure in October that they can fit it in within in between the Dallas Cowboys home schedule. But they're looking at that. I know it's something that Errol Spence Jr. really wants back because he wants the opportunity to show the world that he's still around. Yeah. And Fundora is like, maybe this is the safest one because if he is truly somewhat damaged goods, maybe I can continue to build on my legacy. I'm looking forward to it just to see because there's so many unknowns when it comes to Errol Spence. We want to be able to see what happens there.
I'm interested, but my hopes aren't high on it. But we'll see. But a fight just around the corner is the Zhang and Wilder fight, and it's on June 1st. I know we're going to be watching it. I don't know. It might be a knockdown, drag out kind of heavyweight fight with Zhang. Zhang got some heavy hands, and I want to see. I'll be interested if the old Wilder comes back. The old Wilder, because we were talking about Tyson Fury last week, and it's like after those Wilder fights, he just wasn't the same. And it seems like Deontay Wilder is not the same after those fights either. After he fought, I think Parker, and lost to Parker in the fight, the Saudis sponsored. But I'm just wanting to see, not willing, but wanting to see whether or not we see the old Deontay Wilder. Will he ever come back, or a spark of that ever come back against Zhang? Because he's going to need that going against the man from China.
No, I agree 100%. I think we're going to find out which Deontay Wilder is coming out, right? Is it the guy that fought? He's kind of had taken a little beating, or he's taking actually a step back because of the other recent fights. I think he's like what 1-4. You know, he's won only one of his last 4 bouts. Mm-hmm. This will be a loss in 1-5. You know, what was his mindset? It's ironic though that when he changed trainers, hard for him to win these fights. Yeah. So you say what you want to about Mark Breland.
Yeah.
But you know, it's ironic that here we come down the slippery slope that you find a way to keep losing. So I'm interested to see that. Zane has heavy hands. I want to see the strategy that Wilder takes, because some people are saying that if he gets cautious and doesn't come out, then there's a chance that Zane could knock him out. So I've heard that as well. But I want to see this because I want to determine whether or not Wilder's back, if he still have anything left in the tank. Because if he does win this, more than likely he's going to get a shot at with Anthony Joshua. And that's the fight that everybody wants to see, or a lot of people want to see. They mentioned another shot at with Tyson Fury, which I don't want to see. But I would love to see if he's back. That is talking about talking about how that's going to work. If he's back, then I want to see him fight maybe Anthony Joshua.
I think the two fights I want to see in the heavyweight division that we got deprived of, and now they got some chinks in the armor, is Fury against Anthony Joshua and Wilder against Anthony Joshua. And it may be too late. These fights could have happened, and there was a lot of money to be made. There were some bragging rights that could have been established at that particular time, but they waited so late that it's like now you have Usyk, now you have some upcoming heavyweights that are emerging on the scene, and people are kind of getting away from whether or not they want to even see these two fights happen.
No, I agree with that 100% because, the time has elapsed. I think the fighters were definitely different fighters than they are today. You don't know, as you said, what the total of those three fights of Wilder and Fury took on either one of the guys, but definitely exciting for the matchups alone. But the question is, we should have our answers at least with Wilder versus Zane. And then after that, it's probably going to be, there's no reason to keep calling him back in. Because at that point, to me, it becomes an entertainment piece and not a boxing match.
Anybody, other boxing news?
Just stay close. We should be having some things coming up pretty soon. Definitely looking forward to Mr. Frank Martin versus Tank Davis, the former Tank Davis. I think that's going to be very, very exciting. We also want to see, I think Shakur Stevenson is going to be fighting down the line somewhere coming up. So we just want to see how this goes. And again, I keep saying this name. I need to see this happen. Is it bantamweights or am I even too high? Around 118, 122. I know the monster got knocked down and he still won. I told y'all, listen for the name Nakatani. 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 I need to check him out. He's dangerous. He's probably going to have to probably fight the monster's younger brother at that weight, and then he might get a shot at the monster. That will be an amazing fight. Do a little research. Google me, fam. Google them, Google them, Google them. Let's get it. I know y'all appreciate all y'all watching. Show us some love, man. What y'all want to know? We got more stuff for you. How you want us to expand it? Let us know. We're here for you, brother. We can go even more deeper. You think we deep now? We just start scratching the surface.
So yeah, appreciate all the love we've been getting on YouTube, and continue to watch. Leave your comments, likes, things of that sort. Ask us questions. Who knows? You might end up on our show as a special guest on our show. I don't want to go away without mentioning Adrian Bronner is fighting Blair Cobbs on June 7th. And I've been seeing some of the press conferences. They've been hilarious. Adrian Bronner is always must-see TV if you want to see somebody brag. And Blair Cobbs is kind of jacked. And Adrian Bronner looked at him like, I thought you'd be bigger, brother. And I'm like, okay, whatever channel this is on, I gotta watch it. I just gotta watch it because it's Adrian Bronner. He's Icewater, I'm Puma, and this is the Fight Game.